Welcome into Coweta Schools Game Day. I'm your host, Hap Pines, principal of the Central Educational Center. This week we're bringing you the best plays and highlights from East Coweta's showdown with Carrollton, Noonan's matchup against Lovejoy, and Northgate's face-off against Langston Hughes. Let's get right to it, starting with East Coweta, my friend. Always good to have you back.
Thank you.
Awesome. Coach, there is absolutely no shame in dropping to Carrollton. The Carrollton Trojans have D1 athletes across the board, but a lot of football to be played. Big one coming up this week. Tell us about Friday night.
Well, obviously, Carrollton Trojans came into town. They're a very good football team, ranked number 1 in the state, number 6 in the country. Well-deserving, well-coached football team. Our kids went out there and battled the best they could all night long. Didn't go our way on the scoreboard, obviously, but a lot of things to learn from. We got to have a short memory and erase that and move on to the next week. There's still a lot of good things to play for, region seeding and stuff like that for the playoffs. But really proud of the kids' resiliency and their effort. They haven't laid down. It hadn't gone our way a couple of games, but they continue to fight. We just say keep fighting, let's keep growing as a team, learning through the tough moments, and continue to build the character we need to build. So,
Coach, and you almost kind of answered a little bit of this. You've had the hardest schedule in the country. I mean, this region is unlike anything I've seen. Douglas County, Carrollton, all those guys. You know exactly what you need to do to finish the season strong, earn a 3 seed. What have you learned through your team through these 8 games?
Well, we got to be more consistent. We got to execute at a higher level. We have a lot of kids that are playing, a lot of kids that are getting experience. It's not just one guy screwing up this or screwing up that. It's a collective effort. But sometimes they press too hard and when the pressure's on them and things like that. But we got to settle them back down and, say, hey, we got to go back to work. It's a new day. We can't control anything that's happened in the past. We can only focus on what we do today, and that's going to be our goal going into practice today.
Well, Coach, you are the ultimate competitor. What is the challenge of the kids, to your kids, as you head into this last stretch of the season?
Mentally, you got to stay strong. You got to stick together. You got to have a bunker mentality. There's a lot of outside noise all the time when things aren't going well, but those people don't matter.
Right.
What matters is what's in our locker room, what's on our field, and our kids believing in one another. And really, let's start a new season. We got 2 games left. We got a tough Westlake team this week. We're still in control of our own destiny of getting into the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And if we continue to get better, you never know what'll happen. So we're just focused on us getting better, executing at a higher level, and getting ready for the Westlake Lions this weekend.
Awesome. Well, Coach, you have won some big games during your tenure at East Coweta. And I know we had probably a kid that's going to be in the NFL in the near future as well.
Probably about 7 of them for Friday night on that team.
Exactly, and I don't think Julian Lewis is the only one. Even Travis Hunter, who's come into Sharpsburg, an amazing athlete like him, and you beat those guys. But like I said, most successful that you've had. Let's check out the highlights though from Friday night.
Okay. Well, offensively, Andrew Schott got the start. Here's Jay-Sean Stegall on a good run here on 2nd long. We got ourselves behind the sticks there, but he got us out. Again, we're in 2nd long. Ricky Howell, good run here, good blocking on the perimeter. Picks up about 6. Cohen here's in the game. Good throw here to Sam Gritton. Sam's just been a steady Eddie for us and makes a big play here and gets us down here near in the red zone.
Coach, to have some explosive plays against that Carrollton defense is a lot of good to take away with.
It is. Once you get behind, you're forced to do some other stuff. But here's Cohen on a good run. All the kids have a lot of fight in them all the way to the end, which I appreciate from them. Another good run here by Jay-Sean Stegall. Front did a good job blocking for us. Good throw here to James Stroud. And this is like 3rd quarter where we're down, but the kids are continuing to fight, not hanging their heads. Was really proud of that part of the growth in our program.
Right.
Throw here to Ricky Howell, another young kid making plays in a big game. Here's a touchdown pass from Andrew Schott to Walter Maestri, another sophomore. So really, appreciate the guys' effort and as hard as they're playing. Aaron McWilliams, steady Eddie for us too. Here's a 36-yard field goal. Knocks it through there to get us 3.
Money.
And then he did a good job kicking off. They had dangerous return guys. He wants to get the ball as long as he can on a punt, but we said, hey, get it in the air, give us time to cover and force a fair catch if we can. And that's what he was able to do. But kicking off, he was in the end zone all night long. We're backed up here. Here's a booming punt. Great hang time, forces the fair catch. That's a win for us in special teams. Here punting out of the end zone. Does a good job again getting in the air.
Yeah, he just extends that leg and
forcing another fair catch. Defensively, they got so many weapons. But the kids did a good job of playing their job, doing what they were asked to do. We did a good job of gang tackling. They have really good backs. This was a big drive here. We ended up stopping them on 4th down. Lucas knocking again, just Mr. Consistent for us.
So hard.
But you still see a lot of fighting the kids
and
here,
that's
even
what
if it
you
ain't
like
going
to
our
see,
way.
Coach.
So they never laid down, like
No.
I said. So the natural tendency for a kid is feel sorry for yourself. But that's something we continue to preach to our kids. The world doesn't really care how you feel. You got to get back up and go back to work. So we try to show that example to them, put a smile on our face, even though it's hard sometimes.
Well, Coach, that's always kind of been, you've really shown wonderful leadership in that. I remember not too long ago, but I want to think several years, you drop a tough one to Noonan, and then the next week we had Marietta, who was going to be the state champion the following year. You go down there and really just run them off the field that night. So, Coach, if there's anyone that can do this, it's definitely you. It's quite obvious that kids that came, the names that we've heard of that Carrollton had, the Julian Lewises, and trust me, he wasn't the only one that had a lot of talent. But your kids continue to fight, and that's what's always good to see, and that's always a trademark of Coach Small's team. How did that all play out on your Big City of Hope big play board?
Well, our defensive City of Hope player of the game was Lucas Knockin again.
Yeah.
Our offensive City of Hope player of the game was Sam Gritton, had some big catches in the game. Our special team City of Hope player of the game was Aaron McWilliams.
Right.
Our scout special teams player of the week was Austin Atkinson, who is a starting linebacker for us.
That's awesome.
So he's servicing on scout team.
Really
special
talks
team.
about character.
Yeah, tons. Our scout offensive player of the game was Royal Maxwell Jr.
That's great.
So that was good to see this week.
I know he's cut from that right cloth. Yeah.
And then the scout defensive player of the week, City of Hope, was Jacob Chapman, a sophomore outside linebacker. That's going to do really well for us. So.
Absolutely.
And then our hog of the week was Carson King.
Okay, great. Well, some awesome kids there, Coach.
Yeah.
Like I said, no shocker there. I'm familiar with a lot of those kids, and like you said, they definitely practice and work hard. You take the show on the road now to Westlake, a traditional state power, always in Georgia. Big win here. Things going to be right back on track. Tell us about the Westlake Lions.
A good football team. They've had their struggles just like we have. They've played Carrollton and they've played Douglas and came away with losses in that. So both the teams know what's riding on this game. So it ought to be an exciting, highly fueled football game for both teams. But in talking to Coach Mitchell over there, we're both in the same boat.
Right.
We both are stressing we got to go out and execute, to give ourselves a chance. So they've got a lot of strengths. We've got some strengths, and so we're going to match up our strengths against theirs and see what happens.
Absolutely. Coach, it's the latter part of the season, and when you got games that matter this late, you're doing something right, and that's always been the case with you. Win out, and you'll have the 3 seed, and I know you don't like to look ahead. It's always about one game at a time, as it should be. But that's got to be real good motivation for your team.
It does. You still got a shot. Like I told them after each game, I said we're still in control of our own destiny. We're not counting on anybody else to do anything. And you want to be in control of your own destiny, for playoffs and all that. But we're really not focused on playoffs. We're focused on Monday practice before Westlake. Let's take care of today, then let's go into tomorrow, and let's just see what happens.
Well, I can't wait to see it, Coach. You've always known what it takes. You've established yourself as one the best coaches in the state of Georgia, and that speaks volumes. And I can't wait to be there Friday night. Pull for you guys. We'll be there at Westlake. Any parting words for EC Indian Nation?
Yeah, show up and show out when you get there. We need a big crowd there, and I'm sure they're going to have some fried fish and some funnel cake. So get on up there and enjoy yourself.
Another great game, Coach. Coach, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're here with head coach of the North Cape Vikings, Kevin Whitley. Coach, thanks so much for always being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Coach, it's like I told John Small with Carrollton. Same thing I'm going to tell you. There is no shame, dropping to Langston Hughes. They are an incredibly talented team that you guys played Friday night. Tell us all about Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you play a team of Langston Hughes' caliber, you definitely, got to come ready to play.
Right.
Super athletic, great size, great speed, great coaching. But again, you want your kids to see where you want to get to. So that's the goal. You want to be that type of program, and you don't know until you know.
Right.
And so it was a good experience for our kids. We came out really strong. So, nothing but do but go up.
Absolutely. And Coach, what people want to have is meaningful games this late in the season.
Yep.
And you got two big ones coming up, win, and you're probably going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's a great, great feat the first year with the incredible job that you've done. Tell us kind of about what's the mindset going into these last couple games.
Yeah, I mean, it's really an unusual situation for myself. We have a good Lovejoy team, but it's a game that the winner pretty much gets into the playoffs. So the season hadn't gone quite where we want to, but we won the right games.
Absolutely.
As long as you can win the games in the region,
Absolutely.
That's what matters. And then when you get to the playoffs, it's back 0-0, and everybody's got a fresh start. So it's going to be a big game. We got to go on the road to Lovejoy. Again, another super talented team, well coached. We just got to be ready to play. So if we can just get away from the self-inflicted wounds, I think we'll be in good shape.
Well, Langston Hughes was certainly talented.
No doubt.
Your kids are fighting hard. What were some of the positives you took from Friday night?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we wanted to come out and not to let the moment be too big for us. At the end of the first quarter, believe it or not, it was 0-0. And then we had a bad snap, got a bad punt. Then they got the ball on the 20-yard line, gave them a short field. They were able to go up 8-0. So it's 8-0 with 3 minutes to go left in the half. And so again we self-imploded. Gave them an onside kick, gave up an explosive pass play. Things that you can't do against really good teams. So, but up until that 3 minutes left in half, I thought we played just about as well as we could play. So there are some positives, but again, we're not in the business of doing moral victories.
No doubt.
You want to take the good with the bad, and correct those mistakes and get ready for a good Lovejoy team.
Well, as I've said many times, Coach, you're doing a great job. Northgate has a proven winner with you at the helm. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Friday night.
Yeah, sure. I haven't seen these highlights yet, but I'll definitely take a look at them. But again, like I said, Langston Hughes, really, really good team. Really, we had some guys for the first time go both ways. That's Mason McKnight, who's a starting defensive back, caught a good pass.
Great push.
That's our safety, Keaton Stegall, playing some Wildcat quarterback. So it's guys that we had put on. Now, we were glad to have Bryson Slayton back. This is really his first game. He's been hampered with injuries all year. He's a senior, so it was good to see him play. And then again, defensively, we're running to the ball. So again, you can see all 11 guys in the film. And that was a play they've been really successful on all year, and we were able to stop. This is a really good play by Mason McKnight with the pass breakup. So again, it's not about making plays, it's about making them consistently. Here's a really big sack by Bryson Davies there. He had a hell of a game. And again, it's just about Bryson Davies again on a big stop. Our kids didn't stop. I know the score really didn't indicate it, but the guys played hard, and we fought. We made them earn everything they got. So again, we got to correct those mistakes and just keep getting better. Here, got another sack by Bryson Davies. He had 2 on the night. Really, really big time play there. A quarterback sneak. A quarterback draw. Again, a play that we didn't let go. Again, we were trying not to let their guys get in space because they could really run. As you can see, we're moving the ball.
But Coach, and I told Coach Small, there's some explosive plays out there that you kids are making and fighting.
Yeah, we got a turnover there. But the biggest thing is you'll see all the highlight tape's good. I never seen a bad highlight tape.
Right.
Never seen a bad highlight tape. So you'll see the plays, but again, it's about consistently consistently making the plays. And that's where we got to get to the point where you're every day, every play you're making a play, and not giving up big plays. And so again, I was proud of the plays on here, but again, you gotta do it consistently. You can't help good teams, and really we gave them some opportunities that they shouldn't have had.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, it does not take a rocket scientist after watching those clips to see how impressive Langston Hughes was and their size. The quarterback looked real familiar to me. How did this all play out on your Viking big play board?
Yeah, again, I think the consistency again for first we came out to a fast start, which was really good for us. We didn't want to come into the game already defeated, and like I said, at the end of the first quarter we were 0-0, and then again it's just about containing consistent play.
Right.
And there was some mental mistakes there. They showed up on our board in terms of giving up explosive. I think they had a 90-yard touchdown pass. We gave up a 94-yard kickoff return. Those are things you can't do. It just messes your board up when you give up explosive plays. So again, you want to make them earn it. And for a lot of part of the game, we did do that. But again, when you give up those plays, we gave them an onside kick that hurt us. We gave up really 14 points in 3 minutes right before half to make it go 24-0 where it should have been 8-0.
Right. Which will happen with young teams.
Yeah, So again, we're gonna learn from it. But again, right now the focus is on Lovejoy. We got to keep moving and get ready for a really good team.
Well, like I said, Coach, you hit the road to take on the Lovejoy Wildcats. They're a traditional state power. What do you expect from the Lovejoy Wildcats?
Yeah, one thing about Lovejoy, they had a really good coaching staff. Coach Carson, I think this is maybe his 10th season.
He's a good guy.
He's been there forever. After Coach Al Hughes left, retired, he took over. So the consistency has been there. So they've always been a team that has been a playoff-bound team. So our youth has got to be ready for that. We can't let this game be too big for us. Again, the playoffs are on the line, and that'd be a great way to make up for some of the wrongs of this season.
Well, what's great is, Coach, you got 2 games. It all starts with Lovejoy. These games count in a major way with a chance to get in the playoffs. I have no doubt, knowing you, your kids are going to be fighting their tails off for that playoff spot. That's the challenge, right now. Or how is the rest of the region starting to shake out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 1 and 2 slots are pretty much solidified. Langston Hughes is going to win the region, and I think Noonan is the 2 seed. So the next 2 seeds is really a 3-team race right now. It's us, Dutchtown, and Lovejoy, and all of us play each other. So we play both.
That's
which is good for us because again we control our own destiny, so we don't have to wait and see what somebody else does. But it starts with Lovejoy.
Absolutely.
Right now we got to come out and play, and we got to make them beat us, not beat ourselves.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, you're doing a great job. This county and school system is blessed to have your leadership. Any final words for Viking Nation and all of Valhalla?
Well, again, this is a big game. It's on the road, so anytime you can have a road crowd, it really goes a long way into getting your guys to play hard. So just come on out. Like I said, playoffs on the line. It's a big game.
Absolutely.
The guys will be ready to go, and we'll be excited about the opportunity.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited for you, Coach. Coach, thanks for being here on the show. Looking forward to a big win Friday night, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here to help break it all down for us is head coach of the Noonan Cougars, Chip Walker. Coach, great to have you back, my friend.
I appreciate it, buddy. It's good to be here.
Always. Coach, another great win in what's becoming a fantastic season for everyone in the city of Holmes. You dismantled Lovejoy Friday night. Tell us all about it.
Well, we're really proud of our guys. They've done really good this year, and then homecoming. We were talking about it after the game Friday night. We've played homecoming really good the last several years. So can we just make all of them homecoming? But it was a good effort by our guys. We felt like we played a total game, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise, which has been good. And just got to keep getting better and put us one step closer to locking up a home playoff game. And so we're excited about it.
Coach, no one does homecoming like Noonan High School.
That's
no doubt
exactly
about
right.
it. Coach, you had all-star Brody Campbell was out for this game, and all-star quarterback Hayes McGinnis came in, and it was business as usual.
Yeah, we were Brody got a little banged up the week before, so we wanted to be extra cautious with him.
Yeah.
And then you got Hayes that came in and plays.
Right.
Yeah, 2 great young men that Hayes came in there and played great. we were super proud of him. I mean, he had a really good night. I think he ended up 16 of 21 for 210 yards, a couple touchdowns, and had some big runs as well. And you know, he made really good decisions. So that was a good night for Hayes, and we were extremely proud of him.
Coach, as you head into you've been through 8 games this far into the season. What have you learned about your team in particular, and how excited are you about the rest of the season?
Well, you know, just the fact they're gonna do whatever we ask them to do. They're gonna step up, and they're gonna play, and they enjoy playing with each other.
Awesome.
That has been huge for us. They've had a lot of fun. They've rooted for each other. They've worked hard, and so we got a good bunch of young men. You know, we're excited about where we're gonna go the next several weeks. Obviously, a big goal of ours for this senior class was to host a home playoff game. We wanted those guys, all they've been through, to be able to host a playoff game, and you know that's within our reach. All we got to do is win one of the last 2. Obviously, we talked about winning them both, just to make sure we keep the momentum going. But you know, those are going to be our goals, and we got to take care of business.
And the great news is, Coach, got a fairly young team too, still right at it.
Yes, we do.
But Coach, y'all are playing great. Things just continue to seem to click. You know, let's take a look at the highlights from Friday night.
Sounds good.
Lovejoy.
We're going to get this thing started. We had decided, you know, with being Hayes coming in and starting the game, we were just going to go after it on the first play. And Gus makes a big catch.
Yeah.
And, we felt like that would be a good way to get him going. And, you know, he gets to make a big throw. And
my neighborhood
and get
connection.
us going. There's so many parts of that neighborhood connection to keep going. There really is. Couple plays later, we're going to come in here, and Jalen Teagle, who had a huge night, with the first of his couple touchdowns right there.
Great push.
He did a great job. He's had a great year for us. Another big game is Rodney Colton. This is not going to be the last time you see him tonight on these highlights, but he had a big sack right there coming off the edge on their first drive, and you know, a fast start. We've gotten off to some fast starts this year. And that's been good for us.
So it almost looked like that tackle that Georgia had on Quinn Ewers for the fumble the other night right there.
Yes, it did.
Goodness gracious.
And there you see a swarming crowd right there of defensive guys in the white helmets this Friday night. They look really good. You see them getting to the football and
relentless
and making things happen. They wanted to go with a little more traditional look for homecoming. And the guys picked that out. I was proud of them.
Coach, there's always something about that Noonan shield.
Look, I love the shield.
It's
got a lot of history and meaning to Noonan and the community. And so I love it when our guys want to sport that. Here we are in the second quarter. Watch this run by Teagle. You know, really wasn't blocked very well, and somehow he comes out the backside for, you know, about 15 yards.
Playmakers make plays.
To set us up that is going to lead to a really good play. We call timeout. It's third down. We want to get points. And Brian Moore, this is Brian Moore. You know, Brian didn't play as a freshman last year. He came out in the spring and has turned into our starting H-back. We're going to line him up as an old school fullback right there.
Fullback, yes.
And nobody covers him in the flats. And so that's his first touchdown.
Reminds me of that guy at Nebraska back at Slazenger. Was that his name?
There you go. Another big throw from Hayes to freshman John Matthews. He almost came out of that thing and scored. But this was a huge drive for us right before halftime. They had come and scored, although everybody says that the boy didn't catch the ball down in the end zone. So we get the ball back with about 4 minutes to go in the half. We're going to drive down with a really good drive, get in the end zone with 20 seconds to go or so to go up 21-6 right before halftime, which we felt like would have been a good lead. They're going to get the ball back and come back, and Rodney Colton's going to step underneath there and pick that thing off. And so with 8 seconds or 7 seconds to go in the half, instead of going in 21-6, we're going to go in 28-6. And that was a huge momentum thing for us. Really proud of Rodney right there.
Yeah, great play.
And here you see Hayes showing his legs off right here. He, you know, he has a big, I think that was a 20-something yard run to get us a first down. This is our first drive in the second half. Our defense came out and stopped them, moves us down. It was about an 8-minute drive, and our guys fought through. We had a bunch of injuries. We got to a point there where we could really only line up in about one formation. It stalled, and we come in and kick a field goal to go up.
And he's a young one too, right there.
Yeah, he's a junior kicker. We go up 31-6, which puts us up basically 4 scores right at the end of the third quarter, and so we were proud of that. That was a big deal for us to be able to get you know, one more score on the board and eat up 8 minutes of clock and turn it over to our defensive guys. And here they go again, swarming. There you see Josiah Smith making plays as he's made basically all year long.
Great lane contain and everything.
Oh yeah, they did it. Defensive guys, I think we held them to 47 yards rushing.
You don't see that happen to a Lovejoy team very often.
No, and that's been their, you know, it's kind of been their bread and butter was the running game, and for us to hold them to 47 yards is a really good deal. Gets us the ball back. Hayes and sophomore Jalen Britt, it's almost like just a extended sweep out there, him throwing that thing out. And Britt gets us another first down.
He is going to be hard to tackle in space, Coach.
He really is. And then a couple plays later, we're going to do a similar thing, and watch the great block by Gus. And then John Matthews, the freshman, takes it to the house to end the scoring.
Freshman, Coach.
And it was, he ended up having a big night. I think he had 6 catches for about 60 or 70 yards and a touchdown. So we were proud of that.
Coach, a lot of great kids you just rattled off right there making highlights. I can only imagine how that all played on your big play Cougar board.
Well, Jalen Teagle was going to be the player of the game overall. I think he had close to 100 yards rushing, a couple touchdowns, a couple catches. You know, he's just kind of been Mr. Consistent for us all year long. He had a great game. Defensively, you saw Rodney Colton with a big sack. And the pick 6. He's the defensive player of the game. Offensively, Hayes McGinnis with a big night is the offensive player of the game. And then the special teams guy is a young man named Randez Tolbert, who is a freshman linebacker who has come up and you know, started contributing on some special teams, and he's going to be the special teams player of the game.
That is great, Coach.
Had a couple big tackles for us, and so anytime you can throw some freshmen out there and more of them can make some plays, that's going to be good for Noonan football for the next 3 or 4 years.
A lot of people forget that it was Terrell Davis, you know, when he was drafted real high with the Broncos, he made a tackle on a kickoff, just laid a guy out. And that next thing you know, everyone knew who he was, and I think his career from there, you know, speaks volumes. So it's always good to see special teams play.
Special teams players, and you talk about special teams. You ever watch Georgia on Saturdays?
Right.
You see all their great players playing special teams.
I love it. I love it. Well, Coach, you'll be on the road, you know, this upcoming week. Every team in this Coweta County school system is a football team. You invade Banneker. A win here in home field is going to be coming to the Drake for first round state playoffs. How does Banneker look?
Well, you know, they've struggled a little bit. They hadn't won a region game, but you know, it's those are the ones. I guess what do they call it on ESPN? A trap game.
Trap game.
You know?
Trap
so,
game.
We got to make sure that we understand what's at stake for us. We set goals at the beginning of the year. Again, those goals, we wanted to have these seniors with a home playoff game.
Awesome.
And to do that, we can go ahead and lock it up this week. And so our goal is to go up to Banneker and take care of business. You know, they're an athletic team. They got some talented young men. It'll be one of those games that the longer we let them hang around, the tougher it'll be.
No doubt.
So we need to go take care of our business as quick as we can, play good, and I feel like our guys are going to do that. They're going to prepare, and then we just need to go up there and handle our business and secure that home playoff game.
Awesome. Well, Coach, like I said, you know, you get a home game in the playoffs, a second seed to a fantastic season. I can't think of a better way to christen the new school building and everything. There's a lot of great, you know, vibe and momentum generating through the school and the community. I can only imagine.
There's no doubt. I mean, if you go back to the homecoming parade last week, it might have been the most people I've ever seen at it. You know, it was a huge crowd. The school building itself, everything, that's just been headed in the right direction.
You know, that is just awesome, Coach. You know, any senior class that has really just stayed the path. You know, it kind of reminds me what Michigan always say, those that stay will be champions.
That's right.
And, you know, when you just look back at everything that has happened in the last 4 years, great job, Coach, keeping this team focused. You know, any final words for Noonan Cougar Nation?
Well, you know, we're proud of those seniors, and now we just got to go handle our business so that we get to make sure on November the 15th that Drake Stadium's packed once again.
Hey, we're going to be there, and we're going to be real excited, Coach. Great job as always. Best of luck to our Cougars this Friday as they take on Banneker.
I appreciate it. Go Cougars.
Thank you, Coach. That will do it for this week on Game Day. We'll be back to break down the upcoming games on October 25th as the season nears an end next week. This program is brought to you by the video and audio team members here at CEC through our school system CCS TV YouTube channel. Make sure to go and like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.